Hey, I'm in the park and I'm gonna make a series of different, I'm gonna call them family man rants. Just me talking about family, talking about pride, history. Not so much as history being a history buff, so if there's any history buffs out there, I'm not trying to step on your feet, step on your toes. If you can bring some facts, then bring it. And bring some help to history, for people finding going through their family tree. Everybody likes a quick fix and going through family trees, but I heard anyway, it's a tiresome process. So today I'm in Carroll Park and I'm staring at a monument, a testimony to soldiers, which were family members of somebody, not necessarily my family members. Taking in the sights of Carroll Park, who was a barracks at one time, or a training ground for soldiers for, I believe, the Civil War. All the people who died and commemorate, their loved ones. This is a beautiful monument. I'll show you how beautiful it is. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a beautiful monument, a testimony to all the soldiers who served our country with distinction. Isn't it beautiful? It's old, but it's still here. It occurs to me we seek to, and going back and saying this person was prejudiced and this person was this and that, we negate our history. A lot of common sense people know this. Who are you? That's the question we should ask ourselves every day. Who do you want to be? Another question we probably should ask ourselves every day. These soldiers lived and died for what they believed in. They believed in this country, for good or for bad. They talk about make America great again. Some people say we never were great. But the fact that we got freedoms that nobody in this world really has, or has to constantly fight for, is a testimony to how good or decent this country really is. I ain't saying we're great because on the scale of Yah and Yahuwah, great is decent. We have to aspire to great heights and belief and loving one another before we can aspire to something greater than what we are. And removing these monuments, we remove what we were, and so we can't remember where we're going, what the struggle was all about, what the struggle was for. We struggle with everything from addictions to funding money or having money for survival. We're struggling for everyday existence. We're struggling to be a family. In a world where families are not allowed, we struggle to be a different family. When some of us are having same-sex homes. You see what I'm saying? But still trying to find family, trying to find acceptance is what every family is about. That's what we're trying to do, find acceptance. And finding acceptance, we will do almost anything to be accepted. Listen to different music. Listen to, do things, sometimes simple things. Take drugs, whatever. But we seek to find ourselves. first and foremost, in the history that some of us have lost. Some of us don't remember what our yesterday was like. So how can we appreciate the day when we didn't even appreciate yesterday? You see this, it's a beautiful scenery, it's a beautiful sight. This is what life is all about, people. Taking the time to realize that this stillness is what we lack in ourselves and out here in nature. We struggle and then we lose ourselves in that struggle. Bugs. But it's in our struggle because it's, I don't mean to preach, but long-term suffering for the Christians. Now I want y'all to kind of take this sight in too. Words of wisdom, as well as, well, I'll let you see it. For those who haven't been out here, I'll try to get all of it. I like it where it says, greater love than this hath no man, that he lay down his life for his country. Because that's what our soldiers believe. Or they wouldn't be out there fighting. They wouldn't be out there making the ultimate sacrifice for us, as all soldiers tend to do. All soldiers tend to fight the good fight for us. We're soldiers too. We fight for equal rights. We fight for life in general, for equality. Some of us fight to be born. We're all blessed in many different ways. We have many different talents and we squander it. At least some of us squander that talent on this stupidity, foolishness. Being a family man is more than just having a family. It's taking the time to try to understand that family, which we somewhat lose in the noise of everyday life and existence. The struggle at your job and coming home to whatever. You could be coming home to an abusive husband, abusive wife, or abusive boyfriend, abusive girlfriend, etc., etc. That's not the life you should choose. It's not a life that you should keep up with. You can change your circumstances if only you want to. Opportunity will come in desperation. Prayer is good. Action is good as well. And action and prayer together is unstoppable, in my opinion. Because what you believe is an old cliche, but you believe you can achieve it. It's the truth. You believe it, you can achieve it. Good or bad. I tend to believe that there's a God-given destiny and a Luciferian destiny that we all can live up to. If we living up to our God-given destiny, we're pillars of community, we're remembered favorably, we live favorably, we try to help when we can. We just try to do the right thing at all times, so that not only we feel good about it, but so that we can give a legacy to our children And maybe they'll see the sacrifice that we made, and maybe later on they'll also want to make those sacrifices and do what's right for everybody involved. The first thing we got to do is help ourselves. Get out of the ditch that you fell in. Get out of the hole and the traps that you laid for yourself, both mentally and physically. And after you dig yourself out the hole and you're successful, then what you do is you help others. You may can show them the easy route, or tell them the easy route to go that you didn't go, that puts you where you were. It's called testimony, people. You got to go through something to tell somebody something. If you go through a little bit, you only can tell them a little bit. You go through a lot, you can tell them a lot. Now, if they're willing to listen, great. Then you tell it all. If they're not willing to listen, dust off your feet and keep it moving. Because they got to learn the hard way in their own time. And that goes for everybody out there. We can only do but so much. We can only say but so much. A lot of times we give up too fast. And a lot of times we give up too slow too. You got somebody on drugs you're dealing with, and they stealing, they doing all kinds of stuff to you. But you say, I love him, I love her, I love this person, I want to keep going. Maybe they'll change. And they don't. So you go years, decades, enduring all this hardship, all this heartache. But you couldn't change them. I think it's the most hurtful feeling when you put all the effort into changing this person, but they didn't change. But somebody else comes across in their life and they change. And you're like, what did I struggle for? What did I go through all this with you for to not have you change for me? It's kind of selfish, I know, but it all leads to you and me. It all leads to us. And that's another thing I'm going to bring up when I'm talking about my beliefs. It's all going to lead back to me / him. Because we all learn from each other. And we all learn from each other, so we all learn from the Father. So, we all learn from our Heavenly Father. That's what we're not taking in this time of the pandemic. We can all slow down our busy lives. Try to seek out what's most important to you. And then make that the forefront of your life. Whether it be religion, whether it be, spirituality, belief, whatever you want to say, whether it be, maybe you wanted to try something out and get out your comfort zone and go exploring that thing. I like to look at a lot of haunted stuff, a lot of ghost stuff. I know some of y'all like, I don't like that stuff. That's too much for me. But I like to look at it because it's something that always tells me there's something more that we can't see. There's another thing that we can't see. That there are just realms that are beyond our comprehension and beyond this one that exists kind of like with us. And imagine if we had all the sight to see it all. Some of us probably be terrified every day, all day. It's bugs out here, our nature. But that's all for now. I think I've done pretty well in time. So peace from this little old Otter family, man.